Hi, this is Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning in to a special hometown edition of My Classic Car. Today, you're our special guests at the My Classic Car Autofest Nationals, our 3-day celebration of cars. Each October, car nuts from across the country round up the family and drive to Evansville, Indiana. When they get here, they find an action-packed weekend of activities, including a cruise-in, car show, Carlisle swap meet, and even a cruise collector car auction. And joining me now is Autofest Nationals Director Rick Marco. Rick, what a show you got going here.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. We do indeed. There's probably 500 cars on the lot now. The gates are full. They're streaming off. We're backed up to the Lloyd. Awesome, awesome.
So what all's happening this weekend?
A lot of things, Dennis. Along with the car show, we have Carlisle swap meets, and we have a cruise auction. We had a cruise last night. We had about 250 cars down to Casino Astar.
And then we're going to get up and do it all again tomorrow, eh?
We start again tomorrow morning about 8 o'clock. The awards are about 2 o'clock tomorrow. And wait till the award winners see the prizes they got. Special jackets this year. They are really cool.
Well, I see a lot of folks out there seem to be having a pretty good time.
Yes, they are. They tell me they are. I've been walking around talking to people. No one has complained yet, and that's a good sign.
So going smooth as silk, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, it's all because of
corn
you.
silk, yes. I don't think
hey,
so,
Rick,
but
keep up the good work, and we'll see you next year, too.
Thanks a lot, Dennis. You bet you we will.
All right. The third annual Autofest Nationals presented by Mopar was bigger and better than ever. Approximately 700 cars and over 15,000 people joined in the fun-filled weekend. Autofest began on Friday night with a cruise-in to Evansville's riverfront, where yours truly experienced the Ohio River firsthand. Saturday started with sunshine and a stream of cars lined up at the gates. Inside Roberts Stadium, the feature cars seen on My Classic Car TV were on display. The concourse level was teeming with excitement too. Car lovers could view several Chrysler concept and specialty cars, a wide variety of automotive vendors, plus a few more show cars thrown in for good measure. The thrill of the bid came to Autofest with a cruise auction. What a temptation.
I get 5 of them at 75 of them at 75 of them at 75, 75, now 10. I get 75 of them at 10, 10, 10, 10, 75 of them at 10, now 12, 5.
My Classic Car was pleased to have Carlisle Productions' world-class swap meet at Autofest Nationals with a sea of hard-to-find parts and services to help keep those classics and rods on the road. Hundreds of club members turned out for the Club MCC reception. This year, Club MCC made donations to the Antique Auto Club of America and to the SEMA Scholarship Fund. The night was topped off with a cruise to Wolf's Barbecue and more free entertainment. Autofest attendees were also treated to a rare glimpse of the Mopar Survivor cars. What a collection of Mopar muscle history. We caught up with Dave Duell for a view of Autofest from Mopar's perspective.
This is the third year that Mopar Performance Parts has been involved, and we are so proud to be part of this show and what Chrysler Corporation has done to support it. This year we've got one of 4 PT Cruisers in the whole United States on display. The Chrysler Kronos is here. We've got a NASCAR race truck. We've got a race Viper, as well as a whole assortment of other products brought in by Chrysler and Mopar Performance to help put this show on.
And our friends at Holley were back with tons of new stuff for our hot rod and performance fans. We asked Brian Salvati to tell us what's on the horizon for Holley.
Holley is very excited to be involved as associate sponsor in the Autofest this year, and the event's growing nicely, and we've had a great weekend. Of course, Holley's doing a lot of things in the last year. With our recent acquisitions of Lenati, Hooker headers, B&M superchargers, Wyand with intake manifolds, water pumps, and superchargers, we've rapidly become the #1 engine systems management company in the aftermarket.
There were just tons of things to do and see. For the first time, Autofest hit the cyber highway with a live internet webcast of all the goings-on. Plus, the Resto tent stayed busy with all types of automotive-related seminars. Master mechanic and all-around great guy, Sam Momolo, and I had a blast signing autographs and hamming it up for folks. Jack, a 46 Packard Club sedan. This is a beautiful car and very rare. I've never seen one before.
1 or 2 46s and maybe a handful of 47s are known to still exist.
Man, it is just beautiful, and you've brought it around so cool, the stuff you've done with it. Under the hood is just amazing. Now open this baby up.
Dennis, we've got a 80 model Olds Tornado. It's all front wheel drive setup, everything out of a 80 Olds Tornado.
So this is a front wheel drive Packard?
Yes.
Well, that makes it even more rare now, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it's just gorgeous, and even the purple Tornado, how nice. But the interior is great too. Pop that open for me, will you? Oh, I love how that works.
It's called Purple Tweed.
Purple Tweed,
interior.
and you got all digital gauges in there?
Yes, it's all Dakota digital. tilt column, cruise control, vintage air,
Billet wheel.
billet wheel.
Man, you want to be comfortable, don't you?
Yes, we drive the car a lot. We put about 70,000 miles on it in 3 years.
70,000 on
Yes.
this car?
Yes.
Oh, man, I respect that. You've got to take me for a ride, Jack. I love this car.
We will do that.
It is just beautiful. Many of you know Jay Leno as the host of The Tonight Show. But did you realize that Jay is also a huge car enthusiast? Jay's fascination with cars started in his childhood. His attraction to classic autos only grew as he worked his way through college at a Mercedes-Benz and Rolls-Royce dealership in Boston. Jay doesn't just collect cars, he works on them and is quite an automotive historian. Today I'm with comedian and lifelong car guy, Jay Leno. Jay,
Hello.
so glad to have you here.
Well, thank you. This is the operating theater here. This is
Well, Doctor, what happened here?
well. This is pretty much what happens with modern gasoline, actually. You know, the old days you could put gasoline in a car. It might last a year or 2 years. Modern gas only lasts maybe 3 or 4 months. You know, this gas with this MB, whatever it is, and all this other stuff in it now, it gets gummy very quickly. And what happens is an intake valve hung up, hit the piston,
Didn't
which
go
then
back.
smashed it into the cam and broke the cam. So if you can find gas stabilizers,
Please use them.
not a plugger, but like stable or something like that, it works pretty good because this is obviously going to be an expensive job.
Yeah. Well, now one of the things, I mean, you were driving this because you drive almost all your cars.
Well, not almost, actually all of them. Somebody almost drive like I hit the wall, you mean? You know, you almost drove,
Oh, that was a
until you
pity.
came
I'm
to that
so
turn,
sorry.
you were driving pretty good until you almost drove it.
Well,
No,
let's look at some of the other ones that you actually do drive, not
Well,
just almost drive,
let's
but
go.
do
It's
drive.
prettier in here. There's no broken stuff.
Yet. Well, Jay, this is a nice grouping.
Yeah.
Several very nice pieces here. Bentley.
That's a 1931 8-liter Bentley. That's a big sedan. These are great. This was, I think, a far better car than the Rolls-Royce.
Mm-hmm.
The engine, this is all dead stock. Let's see what she is. Okay.
Yeah, those were huge.
Yeah. Big 8-liter 6, 4-valve.
No head.
No head, overhead cam.
Monster SU carburetors. Those aren't the HD6. Those are some pretty big.
Yeah. You know, the reason they had no head is people always go, well, in those days, head gasket technology is not sort of what it is now. And cars would often blow head gaskets. So you could say to a customer, you'll never blow a head gasket with this.
And you couldn't argue that.
You couldn't argue with that.
This is a boat. It actually even looks like a boat. Crane Simplex.
Crane Simplex. Yeah. Holbrook built the body. Crane, well, what they tried to do there, I think it was Harry Crane, I think it was his name. He tried to make an American sort of Rolls-Royce, and these were very staid, conservative cars with Holbrook bodies, big limousine bodies on them. And this was built for, a guy that had something to do with one of the yacht clubs. So he had it done as a boat. I mean, you even enter it.
Yeah, I mean,
as you would.
it looks ocean going. I got it.
And you got flip-up seats here, and
They pipe you
Again.
aboard, do they?
yeah, and you got, well, look at the dashboard. The dashboard is very nautical. Now this here is a Duesenberg chassis.
And this is really what you bought when you bought a Duesenberg.
Well, yeah, this is a 1929 Duesenberg chassis, which runs fine. It's perfectly drivable. I drive it on the street. That's why it has these covers on the headlamps to protect against stones from the tires being on them. But what they would do is they would build this chassis, and then they'd take it out of the Indianapolis track and, drive it, at 100 miles an hour, whatever it was.
Relentlessly,
Yeah,
yes.
and then, when they deemed it was fine, then they would put a body on it. But this is basically what you got for your $8,500, and then you put a body on top of this. When you realize a Ford,
For about 800 or so.
no, let me see. Yeah, but no, by 29, the Fords were 260.
Oh.
Well, the last Model T was 266, something
Yeah.
like that. So, this was a lot of money. This was a house.
Now, some of these were even supercharged.
Right, I've got a supercharged SJ. It's not here right now. We just got it out and redoing the supercharger.
But even normally aspirated, they were supposedly capable of about 90 in second gear, 120 in
Yeah,
third.
well, it's not posted there. 88 in second, 116 in top. Dun, 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 dun.
Now
You
this.
remember that? There was an ad that used to run when I was a kid for the Comet. 100,000 miles at 100 miles an hour. And then the guy would come on and the hum was the best part. When I was 14, I used to have that ad. They'd show the Comet going, I think it was Daytona, 100,000 miles at 100 miles an hour. And then the big hum. Oh, you got to hear the hum. And that was the little Comet with the 289. And I love those. I love those ads.
Great car, great engine too.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, and one in blue. How nice.
There you go. This is a 1930 Duesenberg. Actually, you know, all Duesenbergs were built in 1929. It just took 10 years to sell them. They did 500 and some odd chassis.
And they weren't actually dated until they were sold in body,
Until they were
right?
sold. Yeah, that was different. I mean, this whole idea of cars coming out every year.
They really didn't do that.
Didn't do that. It's like the Packards were the 903, the 9, whenever they had a new series, they introduced it. And then there was a lot of pressure with, I think it was Sloan and General Motors. Oh, let's do every year and all that kind of thing, you know, which has sort of disappeared too. But we can take this out if you want.
Well, you know, I've never ridden in one. I
I
have to admit.
Well, let's go for a ride.
Jay and I slid into this beautiful Duesenberg for what would turn out to be the ride and drive of a lifetime.
Armstrong.
Power steering by Armstrong.
You know, this car was built in the 20s. Now by the 30s, everybody else was catching up pretty quick. And Duesenberg did what they had to do to, you know, they put the disc wheels on and, you know, the wheel covers, and, you know, Packard had recessed lighting and synchromesh. What Duesenberg had was a great engine and a great chassis.
Now, when did your fascination with Duesenbergs actually start? I mean, you're a car guy.
Oh, as a kid.
Really?
You know, this was the car that was all, you know, the Ralph Stein books, and this was always the greatest American, you know, the mightiest motor car, the Elbert book. And I mean, you realize you got solid axles front and back, and you got a pretty good ride. I mean, we're doing 70.
I thought I was hearing things when Jay asked me if I wanted to drive the doozy. Believe me, he didn't have to twist my arm too much. Look, Ma, I'm driving.
Look out, Ollie!
It's just so smooth.
Yeah, you know, you read the myths, the fastest. Well, compared to modern cars, compared to even a modern hatchback, it's not fast. It's a different kind of power. Power was measured differently.
You can even feel the craftsmanship and the engineering in this car, though. It's through the whole thing. Oh, Jay. Beautiful.
That's about it.
Not only riding in it, but driving in it. It's just too cool. Thanks, man.
Look what it did to his mustache.
Yeah,
He's Hollywood type.
it was tough on my mustache. Say, I understand you have a TV show too.
That's right.
How's it doing? Yeah. Let me know if I can ever help.
All right.